My guest is Moshe Ronen. Welcome to the show. You've been very active in the Jewish community, and you've been participating, I think, ever since you were a student at a young age.
It is.
Having a show on Israel and the Jewish community is new. It's the last 10, 12 years. What experience do you think happened that changed that, and what effect has it had on the Jewish community?
Well, I think it's sort of the new age where, excuse me, media is so prominent in forming people's ideas and communicating a message. And I think it just makes things easier to, for example, tell about Israel and talk about the Jewish people through media. And you can just do it so more effectively than the intense and hard work that we had to do before, I think.
Well, you were active in what campaigns?
Soviet Jewry, Ethiopian
That's what
Jewry.
I remember you from first.
With you on the boat people a long
right.
time ago. Quite a long time ago. But I think over the years, it's become clear that one of the most important challenges that we face is really the image, the branding, the perception that we want others to have of us as a Jewish people, of Israel. And I think the best way to do that is through spreading information in important media outlets, media venues like your show.
But, you know, it can begin to sound like you're in advertising, like we're in advertising, and we're not. We don't try to sell a product or anything like that.
No, I don't think it's advertising. I think it's communication. I think that it's the best way of delivering in a short period of time important information, which I think at least prompts people's interests. Perhaps to look more into the issue, to study more about the subject matter, and to at least create in their minds a more definitive and correct picture of what is really going on.
Briefly, what do you think the effect is on the Jewish community itself?
Of media?
Yeah, of having this show, really.
I think it's a phenomenal effect. I think it's an opportunity to, first of all, take pride in the beauty of our achievements in the community, the achievements of Israel, to be able to focus on areas where some of us may have not had the privilege of learning about or being informed about. It's all good.
With that endorsement, thank you very much, Moshe. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
My guest is Raoul Teitelbaum. He's a painter and a survivor, and we're in Yad Vashem, and he has one of his paintings here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am not a painter.
You're not a painter?
No,
Okay.
I am a journalist.
You're a journalist?
Yes.
You work for which?
I am retired now. I worked for many, many years for Yediot Ahronot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what kind of journalism?
Yeah, I was many years correspondent in Israeli parliament, commentator on social and economic issues of Israel and so on.
And did you paint as a side or after you retired?
No, it was some kind of hobby. I didn't paint too much.
But after you retired, you started to paint?
No. Before I retired, after I was retired, I made research.
I see.
On Holocaust issues.
But it's interesting because when I saw this painting, I didn't think this is an amateur's painting. It looks like a...
I think the most of the exhibition is from the amateur
painters.
So there are many professional, but the majority, I think, are amateur.
Amateurs. Well, there's not so much amateurness in here. That, I mean, when I look at the painting, it's a very strong one. I mean, because I assumed it was a self-portrait. Is that correct?
Yes, it's some kind, because you don't see my face, because it is some mime. I paint this in 50s.
In the 50s?
Yes. And there are my memories of Bergen-Belsen.
How long were you in Bergen-Belsen?
I was with my parents in Bergen-Belsen for 15 months.
And did your parents survive?
My father passed away there.
I see. And did you have other family members there?
No, only my mother survived because I was the only son.
And how old were you when you were in Bergen-Belsen?
When I am born in Yugoslavia, in a very strange area, Kosovo, near the Albanian border. And my family was the only Jewish family in this place. My father was a doctor there, a community doctor. And I was 10 years old when the war started in Yugoslavia in April 41. And I was 13 years old when I came to Bergen-Belsen. So I was actually a boy.
Boy, you're a boy. But here, it's not when you just were interned, because you're so skinny, your memory is where you're there for a while.
Yeah, and this is very, in my memory, it's very special moment, because what I remember, it was the moment when we gather our bread portion, very small, 2 centimeters, something like that. And the people are going and eating their daily bread portions so that the others didn't see them.
I see.
It was some very intimate moment in our daily life.
Just to have a bit of bread was an intimacy.
In daily life in Bergen-Belsen. And it was my...
But you're also wearing a wooden shoe? Is that a Dutch shoe?
Yes, Dutch shoe, because...
But you weren't from Holland?
No, because our original shoes were in this time gone, and they give us some kind of Holland shoes.
I see, but only on one foot.
Because one is lost.
I see. That actually happened. And why is the watchtower shorter than the wall? You know, usually you see watchtowers high. Is that some significance to that?
No, because there is some perspective, you know. It's,
it's perspective.
Yes, it's some...
because I saw
it's not a wall, there are a forest there.
Oh, that's the forest.
Yeah. A dark forest, German dark forest.
I see. Because usually you see the fence and the barbed wire.
Okay, the fence
is
disappeared
into the forest.
Yes.
I see. And the choice of colors for the ground.
Yeah, okay, it was actually sand, dirty sand on the camp. And okay, you know, there were barracks and so on. Here I put some, for hope, some
Can we hear the light?
Yeah, here it's some symbolic color, or maybe some small hope of
and that's
something.
why the boy faces the hope and
the boy face, because he don't want that other people see him, but he eat his daily portion.
I see. Well, it's wonderful. How often do you come here to Yad Vashem?
Yeah, okay. I am a member of the Yad Vashem some
grouping, volunteer groups.
Not volunteer, but in the Yad Vashem public body of Yad Vashem.
And do you come and sometimes take people and explain what happened, or no? You
Okay,
don't do
my friends and so on. Yes, so I come here. You know, when you speak with survivor, the killing has a system, but surviving was very, very personal. By occasion, some people lottery, you know. Every survivor has his own story how he survived, because it was very, very personal thing, personal the condition and so on. But we were very young, almost, you know, After the Holocaust, in first 5 years after the war, the majority of survivors from Europe come to Israel, about 550,000. And the majority of them were very young, between 16 and 35. And in this time, for many years, we don't have time to remember what we have. We were busy how to normalize our life.
Surviving.
Normalize, we have to learn, to get profession, to establish our families, and so on. All these come later when we have more time for our memories, The problem, what I talk to my grandchildren about my past? It is a very interesting problem, because what has happened with our survivor. Our familiar chain, tradition was cut. I don't remember my grandfather or something. It was cut. And we established a new chain of family traditions. My grandchildren, they had grandfather, grandmother, and so on. That is very important in family life, to have some kind of roots that you know.
Have you talked to your grandchildren about your experience?
Of course. Not every day, but when they ask me or they invite me in their school classes to occasionally to speak and so on. I remember, of course, it's a very big problem how to give the message or the lessons of Holocaust to the new generation. It's to speak only about the what is happened, how they killed and so on, it's not so easy and not so pedagogic. And I think my problem with Holocaust is how happened this question. It happened in Europe, in heart of Europe, in people that consider themselves the people of poets and thinkers, philosophers, musicians, culture, in big culture. And this question, I think it is the biggest question on modern society. Because, and the big question doesn't have a complete answer.
No, not at all.
We tried the research and so on, where there are thousands of books and research and memories and memoirs published. But this big question, that is a big question, and it is a question that bothers me. I was my last job in my professional career. I was sent to be a correspondent for Yad Vashem in Germany for 3 years. And I thought for a long time if I accept this proposal or not. But I decided, okay, I will accept. Maybe I will understand better when I am living in Germany how happened them, what has happened to us, but how comes to them all this? And I must say, after 3 years, I understand something and so on, but I don't get the answer.
Well, I want to thank you, but what I want to pursue this question after we wind up, because we don't have so much time.
I will give you some things, maybe you can be interested. In 2002, it was a very big conference here in Yad Vashem on Holocaust survivors over the world. And we published some message of Holocaust survivor. What are the lessons that we learned? And I will give you, maybe not for this film, but it is a very interesting document in my...
Okay, I will read it.
Yes.
And not only that, after the break, I want to discuss it with you.
Okay.
Thank you very, very much.